Good morning. I'm walking again, and it is actually the day that this goes out. So you'll be hearing this just a few minutes after I record it. Yeah, not to sigh too loud, but I guess there's no good way of saying it, you know. The last of my grandparents, my mom's mom, my grandmother, passed away last Friday, and it's kind of weird. It's an end of an era kind of thing. And of course, it kind of goes without saying, I'm a little sad. But that's one reason I'm recording right now. And we won't be getting an interview this week. This is the first week in a long time that I haven't been able to put up an interview at least once. Because I've got to go travel. This starting on Friday. I'm going back east. I live in the Midwest. Going further east to go to the funeral. It's a long drive, like 15 hours. Luckily, I've got people to drive with me. So my local family is going there too. But that's my personal update, I guess. It is editing week for me. I'm trying this new structure where I write for 3 weeks a month, and then I edit for 1 week a month. But I'm actually going to already mess with it because this happened right at the start of the week where I was supposed to be editing. You know, we got the news. And it's been tough. It's been tough to focus. So I'm going to extend editing week for the next 2 weeks. I'll be editing probably because I have 4 books to edit. And I know a lot of people think editing needs to take a lot of time. And to some extent that's true. You know, when I edit a book, at least, I try to be as creatively engaged as possible. But it's actually easier for me than writing a rough draft sometimes, because even though the rough draft, you can cut loose and you just go, and it doesn't matter so much what you write sometimes, or the particulars are less picky, less specific, I guess. It doesn't matter as much what the specifics are, as long as they're nice and you're turning a good phrase and so on. At least that's how I do it. Excuse me. But when I'm editing, I have all the rough draft to go off of, and usually it's pretty nice. At least now that when I'm not editing dictation, it's pretty nice. It's actually relatively fun just to read it and make the little changes, or even big changes that need to be made. But, and I'm saying that a lot this morning, it still takes a lot of focus, because it's almost like writing the book and reading the book at the same time. Editing is really difficult for a lot of people. Probably for that reason. But I don't quite understand the way authors hate on it. You know, there's a lot of authors I know who are like, ugh, editing. And it's true, you're not coming up with new stuff, but those same authors are, well, at least one of them is an outliner, and I'm like, well, how do you do that? So obviously it matters. Depends on your situation, that is, what kind of writer you are, how you feel about editing. But I mean, if you're going to basically pre-edit the book by creating an outline, and then you're going to edit it after the fact, even take it to developmental editors and stuff, I mean, I can see how it could get to be a drag. I still do a lot of passes on my books. I just do them fairly quickly, because I do them, one a day for a week or whatever on a book, unless the book's really long. In which case, or over, a book of over 120,000 words or something, that'll take a week or 2 to edit. More like 2. And even that's if it's typed, whereas it will take almost a month to edit if it is dictated. So that's where I'm at. The books I'm working on right now, I have Temple Theater, Book 1, Forgotten Mask, which the first chapter of that went up on the Buy Me a Coffee page, which is buymeacoffee.com/Tim N. You can go read it for free. It's the only thing up there right now as I record this. And, even though the page is Buy Me a Coffee, you don't have to buy me anything. to read this like a semi-edited chapter, just to get an idea of what the book's about. Because that one will be definitely coming out in June, I think. And then I have 2 novellas. One of them is a Pillar Universe novella called Fierce Salvage. And the other one is a space opera, space fantasy book called Space Giants Book 1. Currently fiddling with the title, but with the actual title of the individual book. But yeah, it's my first Space Giants novella, which I've had, and those 2 novellas were both dictated, so there's a lot of trouble there, and to some extent, compared to the usual way I have been editing lately, where I've been editing typed words. And then, of course, the novel. There's another novel that's the lowest priority target of these 4 stories, because it's military fiction, and I don't think, I mean, it's kind of military fiction. It's cyberpunk fiction with a military bent. It involves mercenaries and a fairly large number of them, so it has a war element to it. So that one is probably going to be the one that goes unfinished over the next couple weeks, if one of them does. But I really, really am excited about all of them. So we'll see what happens there, or at least I will, and I'll let you know. And bits and pieces might go up on Buy Me a Coffee, or maybe Patreon. My Patreon's been dead for a while, though. I don't think I'm going to try to revive it necessarily, as I'm not a huge fan of their website or app. Though I back a lot of Patreon shows. Anyway, this is my ramble, and that's basically what I got today. So I'll be back again with you on Sunday with another kind of impromptu show, and hopefully things will get better. I'm feeling a little down. So stay safe out there, everybody. I'll talk to you later. You can find more about this podcast at mentalsettlerpublications.com. This has been a Live After a Reading. Thanks for listening, and bye-bye.